Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 918. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located in Podcastro Valley, where we do Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in the last place on earth. Today is the finale of my interview with the beautiful singer-songwriter Natalie Gelman. Plus, we definitely a change in energy from yesterday's show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Energy level's low.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It took it out of me yesterday. So lately there's been the second coming of Bieber, but I promised myself not to rhyme this first line with believer. Damn it! I remember the actor Dennis Weaver. He was a really nice guy. My dad said he wasn't a deceiver. My dad worked at Universal Studios when Dennis was making the TV show McCloud.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Apparently, Dennis could identify my dad out of a crowd.
Mike's
He said
Daily
to my dad, "Hi,"
Podcast.
from across the street one time.
Yeah!
At the Universal Studios backlot. Dennis also had one of the first houses to be made completely out of recycled materials. But back to Justin Bieber. I'm going to need a really great song from that guy in order to become a believer. I haven't heard it yet, that Baby Baby whatever song, and I just, no. And that may be because I'm a Gen Xer. And all Gen Xers, we've seen this pop bad kid trying to be redeemed thing 1,000 times before. We're leery of it. We were the first, like, really not to trust anything generation. Super, super cynical. I know millennials are supposed to be compounding that by several percentage points. But I hear this week has been all Justin Bieber-y because of the VMAs. And he's making a push for a new album or whatever he's doing. Whatever. Hey! That's about it. Oh, Dennis Weaver, though. Yeah. Recycled materials. And he was the spokesperson for, like, Wells Fargo or some bank thing. That's how a lot of people in my generation got to know him. Because he was constantly the spokesperson, constantly on TV all the time. And you'd be like, who's that guy? Oh, that was McCloud. Oh. So, yeah, check out McCloud. It's like Columbo. It was the same. It rotated with Columbo and McMillan and Wife. And another show, they would do these shows on, I think, Sunday nights. It was a Sunday night show thing. I remember there was some guy with a flashlight in a field at the beginning of every show. That was their intro. And the cool thing about that David Duchovny show, Aquarius, or whatever it's called, where he's like a detective back in the 1960s, is they've captured the exact same font as they used to use on all those old NBC shows, because this is an NBC show that David Duchovny's doing. All right. Look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
Into this gonna put up there, tell you what.
What?
I heard yesterday, you were the Haley, who I don't know what a Haley is.
A Haley is indefinable.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a mystery.
It's the mystery of the week on NBC.
Anywho, you guys were talking about how you don't like it when people make fun of Obama.
Well, it's... The jokes are lame about Obama. I mean, oh, Obama's against climate change. Blah, blah. Any joke you say after that is just... It eats itself. It's gone instantly. It's just a puff of smoke, because you can't make fun of climate change. It's happening. It's causing problems in the world. We're going to have a huge El Nino this year. It's going to smack the crap out of California this year. I'm cleaning out my drains around my house, all the gutters and everything. I'm super cleaning them because I know this may be the year I get a leak. A bad one. God, I hope I don't get a bad leak. Ugh. But we need the rain. And that's the other side of the coin, is California doesn't know how to capture water when we get rain. Well, if the Sierras get a snowpack, no. If we get rain, period, we should be saving that. We should be doing the Tatooine That was it's Star Wars Day today. I should know this. The Luke Skywalker, where we first meet him in the first movie that was made in the 70s. They got no moisture, so they had these things pointing up at the sky that looked like laser guns, but they were actually capturing the moisture. That's what we need. We need to capture like huge terrains all over the place in California, along the coast, and Southern California needs to do it a lot too. When we get the rain, we keep it. Mark, that's what the ocean's for. No, by the time it gets to the ocean, we're screwed. Because then you've got a bunch of environmentalists that are like, no, and bio-oceanographers. No, you can't take the water out of the ocean. It's got sea life in it. No. We need to capture the rain when it's falling. Hey, look who else just walked in.
Hi, Mike. I make the root beer. I make root beer made out of rainwater. Oh, boy.
That's great. So, if you want to comment on any of these things, you can go to the Twitter. We're at Mike Talks. Facebook.com/MikesDailyPodcast. You can listen to all my past interviews at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com and hear the previous interviews that I did with Natalie Gelman. A lot of people liked the show, liked the picture that I posted that was in connection to the last show on Facebook. And thanks to all those people that did that, and hopefully you're checking out the show and you're liking it. And if you want to support the show and you shop on Amazon, you can go through that link at MikesDailyPodcast.com for Amazon, and we get some support from that. And also, if you'd like to do anything nice through PayPal, you can become an Inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster, and you'll get a special MP3 from all the characters here at Cafe Anyway. Mike, I don't want to do that. I gotta go. Bye, that wasn't in my contract. Yeah. Also, there are links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. Rate the show, comment on the show in iTunes, and more people find out about us, and we don't languish in obscurity. We're also on SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Mixcloud, YouTube, Podomatic, Ameristream Live, and you can also follow us on Tumblr. You can comment on us on Yelp. And all those links there at MikesDailyPodcast.com, as well as the podcast picture of the day, and now the finale of my Into an Interview with the lovely Natalie Gelman.
Into an Interview.
I'm speaking with the amazing singer-songwriter Natalie Gelman. Her latest album is called Street Lamp Musician. We've been having a fantastic conversation about performing live in public and writing music, writing songs, traveling the world, knocking over street lamps, all kinds of crazy, wonderful stuff. And also, you have done so many videos, and you're so comfortable when you look so comfortable when you're recording the video. How do you do that, blocking the camera out and just diving into your song?
It's funny because I still feel like I've got a little ways to go, but I don't know. You know, there's a lot before I even hit record that happens, so I know that I'm happy with what it sounds like, what the background looks like, the lighting. You know, my partner's a filmmaker and has taught me a ton about lighting, and I think that can work for you or be a distraction in the video. So, you know, Nathan and I had even tried recording the song that we sang together with beautiful mountains in the background, because I really felt like, oh, this is such a great look for the video, and it'll be like, you know, you're coming home and this is where you are, and then where we were sitting wasn't quite enough space, so he was, depending on how he was singing, he was half in the sun and half in shade, because the sun had moved since I last recorded in that spot at a different time of the year.
Oh.
So, yeah, and so it's just good to be aware of those things, and how it's like a photo shoot, but, you know, the camera picks up everything, and so I try to get real comfortable before I even start recording, and then once I'm recording, there's been a couple times where I've learned songs and recorded them the same day, and I'll keep a little bit of a cheat sheet right there to reference if I haven't quite memorized it yet. But often it's songs that I know through and through, and I don't have to think about much. I can just let myself relax into the whole experience. But, just the way we recorded that video where we're acknowledging the camera too, which I don't always do, you just get better at those things the more you do them. And it's just like performing. You have to just do them and watch yourself and go, oh yeah, that part where I felt uncomfortable, I can tell that I look uncomfortable. So if I can just relax, I'll be fine. And you learn too, this clothing doesn't really quite look so right on camera, or you just kind of learn.
Wow. I bet you could write a book on how to look great in front of the camera to perform your songs. But what is the process of coming up with? You cover a lot of songs. How do you pick those songs that you cover, and how do you come up with the arrangements? That kind of, that make it sound like you're listening to that song, but your own take on it, your own version of it. Yeah,
there's a lot of the songs where I've been doing the same, ish song for a while, and it's not like I've, this cover song series is something that's newer compared to how many songs I've learned over the years. So I've thankfully had a bunch in the beginning. I wasn't having to learn too many new ones because I just had so much to draw from. But it just depends. Often it's just something where, for me, often the lyrics are something I gravitate to. And I've reached out to fans and asked them, what do you want to hear me to play for you? But often I'm not. Sometimes I'm really into lyrics, and sometimes it's just not something that I can relate to, and it's not something that I want to, support, because I don't think the lyrics are that good. Even if it's a hit song, I'm like, I can't sing this. There's a really famous song out right now that people wanted me to cover, and I listened to the lyrics and I was like, okay, that I can't sing that. I don't believe in the message of the song. So
yeah, see, I don't understand how Ryan Adams can cover the entire Taylor Swift album 1989. I mean,
that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't listened to anything he's done yet, but
I think I've heard a little bit of his version of Bad Blood, which is pretty funny. But there's a couple songs I thought were okay. I don't know. He probably he's a Swift. What do you call someone that loves Taylor Swift? A Swiftonian?
A Swiftie.
A Swiftie? No,
yeah.
No, I don't like it. How about a Swift dependent? No, Swift. All right, we'll stick with Swiftie. Yeah. Have you covered any stuff from her?
I haven't. I try not to be a Swift hater. Is that what you can call a Swift hater? I don't know. I try not to be a Swift hater. And truth is, I think her songs are super catchy.
Right.
You hear them once and it's hard not to be singing along and whatnot. But
yeah.
I don't know. I just haven't really I've never gotten into her. I kind of took offense often when I was starting out and people kept saying to me, oh my gosh, you're like Taylor Swift. It's like, but I'm not.
No.
At the time, I was definitely not country and definitely not, she really plays the sweet card, and I think there's a lot less of that. I'm a little bit more of a fighter than she is. So I'm a Natalie Natalator? I don't know.
Natalator, yeah.
Gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, I think I got a new one. How about instead of a Swiftie, they could be the Swiftie idiot. No, it doesn't work. All right, hey, you got a Wikipedia page.
I do.
That's amazing. What? And it says that your dad was a violinist, your mom a pianist.
Yes, exactly. My mom was also an art teacher, but she played the piano as well. And music was definitely a big thing growing up for us.
And they encouraged you, yeah. So that's great. And then you, it says you wrote your first song at the age of 11?
I guess so. I remember at some point in about 6th grade, I went to Catholic school growing up in New York City, and some point I went up to my teacher and I wrote this song about a boy, and I went and sang it for her about this whole little story, and she kind of patted me on the back and said, "Oh, that's cute, go sit down." And so I never wrote again after that for a while, and I really thought, I joke about this a lot, but it's not a joke, it's true. I thought from, having learned classical music growing up, that in order to write songs, you had to be a guy, and you had to have really crazy white, curly, great hair, and you also had to be dead. Like, that was my process. Was like, yeah, then you can write songs. You have to actually be dead to write songs.
That's when they get popular.
Yeah, so that I just didn't really get it. And then at some point in high school, I went to the High School of Performing Arts, LaGuardia, and what the movie Fame is based on.
Oh.
And I saw other kids my age writing songs, and I didn't actually start writing songs in high school. It really was, I may have written my first songs as I was getting out, like as the end of my senior year was happening, but it really was after high school that I started going for it. So,
okay.
Yeah. It was organic. Once I learned guitar, it was that was it.
The guitar was the big gateway for you.
Yeah. The gateway songwriting bug.
Was there someone that taught you guitar?
I studied at Brooklyn Conservatory. I just kind of signed myself up for lessons. So, yeah, I had a teacher out there, and then in college I was studying opera, but I had a teacher for songwriting and for guitar. So I just kind of made my own sort of singer-songwriter degree in a way. I tried to take as much as I could to further that side of things. And then I was playing shows around Miami where I was going to school, and every time I'd come home for the summer, I'd play in the subway, and yeah.
And you were so young, playing in the subway.
Yeah.
That's so scary. I'd be freaked out if I was your parent.
Yeah. I think to an extent they were, but I also, I took care of myself a lot growing up, and so I kind of did my own thing. Mm-hmm. And so I think to an extent they were when they were really aware of it, but, it was, and in a lot of ways, like, that, I never was real nervous playing in the subway. I mean, maybe I should have been, and there's been times where I've gotten into it with people to a little bit of a degree, but for the most part, it's just, it's been a really good outlet for finding new fans and for getting to practice my songs. And I mean, most of my songs, the first place that I ever played them would be in the subway.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you work them out there. And
exactly.
And oh, by the way, did you ever give that song to that boy, that first song that you wrote, or do you still have that song, or do you remember the boy?
No idea.
No.
I bet I know who the boy was, but I don't
remember the song.
No. Yeah.
And is it true you worked for Beat Week magazine?
I did, yeah.
That's so strange because another singer-songwriter that I interviewed, Katie Garibaldi, she wrote for Guitar Player magazine.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And both of you play guitar and sing and do a lot of where you're just playing by yourself type thing. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's something to do with the writer sides of you guys, that you're creative. And what was it like being there at Beat Week?
It was so fun because I got to interview a lot of my favorite artists. And I think there's so much luck involved in the success, a certain type of success in this business.
Mm-hmm.
And, from interviewing KT Tunstall and Tristan Prettyman, that was exactly what they would say to me. And some of these people, like, from seeing me, I interviewed some of them. It's sad that I'm now spacing on his name, but there's some people who I've interviewed, and that was their first, interaction. And then, I'll see them at shows or showcases where we're both showcasing. And, yeah, they're signed to Universal or, they're much further along in their career in certain ways. But it's a small business, too. And so it's really interesting how, you keep coming across people. So it was an interesting door to get into a little more insight, into some of the people that I respect.
And I imagine you've played some coffee houses?
Yeah, and I still do. I mean, sometimes that's the best. There's a venue in La Crosse that's a coffee shop. That's one of my favorite. In
La Crosse?
In La Crosse, Wisconsin, yeah.
La Crosse, Wisconsin. Ooh, okay. What do you remember the name of it?
It is called, if I think for a minute, I will remember.
Okay.
I know the name of the person who owns it.
But
yeah. They have a bathtub with koi fish inside of it. And, yeah.
But you've
It will come to me.
You've performed there, and it was one of your favorite coffee places.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that makes me feel normal on the road. It's actually finding coffee shops that I just... Sorry, I'm trying to Google it while we chat. Finding coffee shops that I fall in love with, and they're my little home away from home coffee shops.
Yeah.
And so that... It kind of makes me feel a little bit more normal, and how it works.
I actually met Nathan McEwen, who you performed the song lately with.
Mm-hmm.
I actually met him through his brother Jonathan, and Jonathan and I used to hang out all the time at Cafe Voltaire in downtown Ventura, which no longer exists. But I first met Jonathan years ago. And he was like one of the first people I ever knew to take a song like Kiss by Prince and turn it into like a bluegrass song, do something funny like that.
For sure, yeah.
And Cafe Voltaire was such a neat place, but it's no longer with us. Good old coffee houses. So
it's amazing, though, how I met Bill Reynolds from Band of Horses. I used to hang out a lot at Bohemia. And Bill and I collaborated after connecting at Bohemia in Ojai, and you just never know who you're going to start talking to, and the collaboration of talents and everything. They're good meeting grounds.
I don't think I've been there. I've been to Stir Crazy in Ojai.
And I don't think I've been to Stir Crazy.
I don't know if it's still there. It was there 2 years ago. But yeah, it had beautiful views of the valley. But your song, Some People, is an awesome song. And there's a video of you performing this in Austin.
Oh, actually in London.
In London, I mean. That's a little bit further away. The version of this song I'm playing, where can they find it?
Oh, it's super cool, actually, because the song is going to be on my next CD. So it's not out... with a band just yet, but I've been giving away every year on my birthday. I give away 7 free songs to everyone on my email club. And whenever someone joins, they get the latest free CD. And that song is on the current free CD Live in London.
Oh, cool. What was it like playing live in London?
It was awesome. The venue that I played out there was voted the #1 venue in London for 2015. I don't know how that works when you... I guess they decided at the beginning of the year, but so that was pretty cool. And I was opening for Jonathan Bird.
Are the audiences different there compared to American audiences? Are they quieter?
They were, and it was interesting. I performed all over Europe. I went to 8 different countries, and so I got a taste of audiences all around Europe and all over the UK with because I went all over England as well. I think it still depends on the venue and the tone that you set for the show. But for the most part, they were a little bit more timid. And I don't know if it's also that the jokes, we have a different sense of humor than Europeans. And then that took some getting used to, because I really love sort of a buzzy audience and a little bit of a heckling audience. I want them still listening, but I like that kind of energy and bubbliness.
Right. Kind of like when you're performing in public at a corner of in a subway. In a subway, yeah. Good point. It's true. I took some getting used to, but I don't know. That particular audience was really fun, and it was summer solstice when I sang there. And in the middle of the video, there's some playing with the audience, so that's fun. I love getting people to sing along, because I think it's so healthy for people to sing, no matter what their skill level, So it's kind of a fun recording. And how did this song come about? Thank God for social media. A friend shared a thing that said, some people are so poor, all they have is money. And I don't think he came up with it. I think that it's something that was sort of trickling around the internet as a cool thing that people were sharing, to kind of remind you, like, what is real in life. But I just thought I have to write that into a song. And I asked him what he, just so he didn't feel like, even with social media and taking someone's idea and putting it forward, I really feel like it's important to give credit and ask people how they, can I take this and run with it? And he was like, go for it. And so I had some thoughts about maybe making it a little bit more poppy and sort of talking about more current people sort of in reality television, and decided not to go that route and take it into a more of a place of gratitude and make that line even more sort of cheeky, and repeat it over and over again. And then I think it was funny. Immediately after I wrote it, and Carly and I wrote it together, I thought, maybe I should have done the other version of this, where it's a little bit more, it's more pop, and it's more about the Kardashians and the Housewives of Beverly Hills, and, we kind of use specific more furniture in that respect. Right. But I kind of wrote it specifically to a person, and like someone who once was grateful and then started falling into the trap of consumerism. And I wrote it as a reminder to myself too. It's very easy to pine for more stuff or a new iPhone or whatever it is that is put in your face. So buy stuff. And I wasn't just quoting lyrics from a Backstreet Boys. Wait, was that NSYNC?
I don't even know. That's
NSYNC,
funny.
yeah.
Is it? Okay.
And then your possessions possess you.
Exactly.
And that's no good. But as long as Natalie Gelman has a guitar, I think all is right with the world.
Thank you. That's a huge statement, but I try.
Well, let's play your fantastic song, Some People, and you've made so many great songs. People should check out nataliegelman.com and become a Natalian.
I'll have to come up with something.
A Natalie Gelman man. Or woman. Okay. All right. Yeah, you'll work on that. I think you'll come up with a better name than me. But yes, Natalie Gelman, thank you so much for being on Mike's Daily Podcast. And
thanks so much for having me.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You told me once you had a run. It gets the perfect light in June. Put a smile on your face. Fill your eyes with grace. Your perfect little room. got a letter from you, friend. Said it's the beginning of the end. You done all you think you can. Won't do it again. A broken letter from you, friend. You want more and more and more of things. Sometimes more is less. It seems some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. All they have is money. Remember this when times go back, when nothing was more than what you had. You found ways to get by, watching clouds pass in the sky. Remember this when times go back. You want more and more and more of things. Sometimes more is less. It seems some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. All they have is money. You've got a roof over your head, got a book you haven't read, got a song that you can play, you've got the one that got away. You got some sugar on your teeth, faithful friend you need, laughter from a joke, and just a little bit of hope. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. All they have is money. Do you guys want to sing it? Here we go. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. All they have is money. Alright, most of you are singing, which is awesome. But the thing I like about this room is that the lights are pretty bright on you because of this whole summer solstice thing from that skylight. So I can see you if you're not singing. And I'm from New York. And I'm coming for you. And you. And you. Do you want to sing? Or should I come for you? Let's try singing. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. Some people are so poor. All they have is money.
Such a beautiful voice. So great talking to her. I see big things for that lady. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is one last picture of Natalie Gelman. If this does not prove that I'm heterosexual, I don't know what will. I'm just, I can't help it. I'm enamored. As I said on yesterday's podcast, the last part of the interview, where I was like talking to her, I'm like, I'm just making an observation. I observed that I'm observing that you're pretty. I must have said the word observe about 300 times. But I was trying to tell her from like a somewhat subjective point of view. You're beautiful. Yeah, so that's Natalie Gelman. Now, what do you think of her, Benita?
Mike, she is pretty. I like that hat she wore in the last podcast picture.
Yeah, beautiful.
I want to get that hat.
Well, you just ask her. Maybe she'll give you the name of the designer.
I want it now.
Okay, calm down. Definitely not the same energy level as last show. Wow. I think I need a whole Labor Day weekend to recoup. But next show, we're going to bring you the return of the much-loved news segment called News Random. We're going to look at what's being called as the good divorce. A lot of divorces, public, personalities getting divorced this year, including the Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rosdale and all these other people getting divorced this year. So we're going to Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, and they're trying to make it good. We find out an interesting part of our culture about divorce there in the next show, and we will hear from Adam Rudavega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!